So I would like to now invite to the stage to talk about the ISC, INZ and BECA Sustainable Infrastructure Project, Michelle McCormick, the Policy Director for Infrastructure New Zealand, Ainsley Simpson, our CEO, and Dr. Kerry Griffiths, the IS Technical Director. Please welcome them to the stage.
Kia ora koutou. Great to be here today with our sustainability whānau here in the room. It was fantastic to hear Sam speak about the collaboration from the UK because that leads very nicely into the topic that we're going to speak about today around collaboration between Infrastructure New Zealand, the ISC and Infrastructure New Zealand's members. So BECA, I know, initiated this initiative that Michelle is going to talk to us about. We are all here as committed members of the Infrastructure Sustainability whānau. We know that while we can lead and influence and really make a difference by our actions, well done, not well said, from this morning, thanks Ainsley, that we can't achieve what we need to achieve collectively across Aotearoa New Zealand without engaging the rest of the infrastructure sector. And so Michelle is going to talk about an initiative that INZ is leading that was initiated through conversation, I think, over a period of time with BECA, and then INZ reached out to the ISC to invite us to partner with them. So I'm going to hand over to Michelle and she'll talk us through it, and then Ainsley will talk a little bit about the role of the ISC and how we hope to support this initiative.
Tēnā koutou katoa, ko Michelle McCormick, tōku ingoa. Thanks very much for the introduction, Kerry and Ainsley. It's great to be here, and we are really excited about the opportunity I think that the sector has to, as a nice introduction from Sam, to have a more collaborative approach to achieving our net zero goals and a more sustainable approach to infrastructure. So last November we held Building Nations, and as part of that we had a number of polls to the participants. An astounding 39%, and the highest rated area of work was climate change and sustainable infrastructure from members. It was an area that was really strongly felt that more needed to be done and a more collaborative approach undertaken. And certainly the extreme weather events experienced since the start of this year have only strengthened that. Currently we're finalising a program of work to really get to the heart of what is holding back the sector from a more tangible, consistent progress towards sustainable infrastructure and taking climate action. We know we do stuff really well, but it's not consistent, and we really moved streets ahead on new infrastructure development, but also we're quite concerned about ongoing operations, maintenance, and what else we could be doing there more consistently across the sector. So we're quite keen on the opportunity for the infrastructure program. Oh, it's all appearing. See what's up there. So we're quite keen to draw on our board and sector leaders, and we're looking at what are the barriers to improving sustainable infrastructure outcomes for Aotearoa New Zealand. Partners, Infrastructure New Zealand, BECAs, who had the initial idea of this and thought it was something that the sector could really embrace as a whole and look to partner together and have a more collaborative approach. And Infrastructure Sustainability Council were a natural partner for us given their work in the sustainability rating tool. We're also looking at a broader sector working group, and I guess what it's not though is another charter or commitment, that we're really keen to operationalise things more, to share learnings and technology, and to really move forward as one in the space and see what we can actually achieve and make substantial progress. So, sorry. So we're quite keen to, first of all, look at ecosystem mapping and to see what are the current obligations and where there are overlaps, and particularly what are the current commitments and any gap identification too. We know that we're not necessarily doing everything that we could be doing. In terms of tangible progress, we're looking at system incentives and requirements, knowledge transfer opportunities, innovation sharing and operationalising consistent approach. We know that over time we are going to have the spotlight shone on our sector. We aren't the oil industry at the moment, but when we talk about particularly the natural environment, could we be doing better and can we get ahead of the game? Looking at what knowledge is gained in projects and how we can actually better transfer that too, that when a project team comes together, we actually capture those learnings that are brought and made available to everyone across the sector, that we actually look at better sharing of IP. And how do we hold ourselves to account too? What could we be doing better? Are we just waiting for clients to specify what the requirements are? Are we really taking the initiatives? And it was interesting yesterday on the site tour to the Auckland Harbour Bridge too, just looking at the changing environmental framework and the requirement to get new consents, and then what was actually being done in the maintenance space there to lift the game. So yeah, we're really keen to kick off this initiative with the sector, and first steps will be using our board members to talk to their peers and to really understand what are the barriers, what opportunities are presented, and where we can operationalise and actually make the biggest difference. Ngāhi nui.
Thank you, Michelle. I think like infrastructure, collaboration is the great enabler, and it really brings to the fore the impact and the value that infrastructure can deliver. It's often said that the best kind of partnerships take time to build, and I'd really like to honour Infrastructure New Zealand. It's been about a decade since the IC has been working for New Zealand, and taking away so many of the messages from this morning, it isn't transactional, it is about building deep relationships. And this particular project, I think, is something that has come to the fore. The time is right. So what is the right thing to do? The time now is to partner. And it's really about all of the shared members that we have that are united in purpose. So Infrastructure New Zealand has certainly been part of our past, and you were friends when we really got started in the beginning, but you're also definitely part of our pathway. So you might recall when we kicked off this morning the tale of Harry Ryan and the beginnings of Eden Park, and you might be wondering, what is the call to action? There were 3 actions. The first is that you gather your whānau. The second is that you do the work together. And the third is that you partner and you share the vision. You unite through purpose and you take action as shared responsibility. So I guess today we're putting you all on notice that this is an opportunity for us to do what we do well. It's identifying how others might follow. I think we've heard a few times today that while some are making giant strides and taking giant leaps, others are just in the starting block. But this race is one that we all have to win, and I really implore you not to leave anyone behind. Thank you.